The Lost Monk's Curse. Some stories aren't found in books. They're waiting beneath the earth, buried with those who vanished. Deep in the forgotten woods of northern Europe, where the fog never lifts and the wind moves like a whispering presence, stands the crumbling remains of St. Aurelius Monastery. A place abandoned for centuries. Locals never enter these woods. They say the forest moves at night, and the shadows listen. Our story begins with a disappearance that happened more than 700 years ago. Chapter 1. Stekku. The Vanished Monk. In the winter of 1312, a young monk named Brother Elias arrived at St. Aurelius. He was quiet, disciplined, and deeply devoted, the kind of man the church trusted with secrets. But St. Aurelius held a secret of its own. Beneath the monastery, carved into the bedrock like a second skeleton, stretched a network of ancient tunnels, far older than the monks themselves. Some said they were pagan burial chambers. Others claimed they were prisons from a forgotten war. Brother Elias was ordered to guard one of those chambers, a door sealed with iron bands, a door no one was ever allowed to open. But one night, the chants from below became too loud to ignore. Witnesses reported hearing Elias reciting prayers violently, almost desperately, as if trying to silence something calling his name. And then he vanished. No struggle, no blood, no trace. Only his rosary, left on the cold stone floor, still warm, as if he had been pulled from this world in an instant. The church sealed the tunnels. The monastery was abandoned, and the legend of the vanished monk was born. Chapter 2. The Scholar. Centuries passed. The story became a rumor, then a warning, then a myth, until one man returned. Jonathan Hale, a historian chasing lost manuscripts, came across Elias's name in a forbidden archive. Something about the disappearance didn't fit. Elias wasn't just guarding a door. He was guarding a secret worth killing for. Driven by obsession, Jonathan hiked into the forest, reaching the monastery ruins just before dusk. The air felt wrong, thick, heavy, as if the forest itself wanted him gone. Inside the ruins, he found the old stairway descending into darkness. He lit his lantern, and the forest grew silent. At the bottom, Jonathan discovered ancient corridors, chiseled with symbols that predated Christianity. The walls seemed to pulse in the lantern light, like veins carved into stone. And there, half buried in dust, he found it. Elias's journal. The final pages were written in frantic strokes. It speaks my name through the stone. The door breathes. God forgive me. I can't hold it back. Jonathan's hands shook as he read. Then he heard it, a soft, rhythmic tapping, coming from behind the sealed door. 3 knocks, slow, deliberate. The same pattern described in Elias's final entry. Jonathan stepped back. His lantern flickered. Something scraped the inside of the door, like claws dragging across metal. And then, the door opened on its own. Chapter 3. The Horror. Beneath. Inside the chamber, Jonathan found the unthinkable. Elias, or what was left of him, stood there in a tattered robe, his face pale as bone, his eyes glowing with a faint, unnatural light. He wasn't alive. He wasn't dead. He was waiting. Elias stepped forward, his voice a decayed whisper. You heard it too. Jonathan ran. The tunnels twisted behind him, walls shifting like a living maze. Every time he looked back, Elias was closer, not walking, but gliding through the dark, drawn to the lantern's flame. Jonathan burst into the open air, the early morning sun spilling across the forest floor. He collapsed at the tree line. The monk stopped at the threshold of the ruins, the sunlight burning his skin like smoke. And then Elias retreated back into the shadows. and disappeared. Jonathan survived, barely. He sealed the entrance, warning locals never to return. But the forest still whispers at night. Travelers report hearing 3 knocks echoing through the trees. And some say, if you're near the ruins at dawn, a hooded figure watches from the stone archway, waiting for the sun to rise, because the door is no longer sealed, and the curse of the vanished monk is awake again. If you want this darkness to continue, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep your lantern close, because the next story is already waiting.